the first time I saw it. I thought it was just a glitch. But now I know the truth. And I wish I had never installed that security camera. The reason I installed the camera 3 weeks ago, something strange started happening around my house. Small things at first. My trash can would be tipped over in the morning. My garden gate would sometimes be open even though I clearly remembered locking it the night before. At first, I blamed animals. Maybe raccoons. But then one night I came home from work and noticed something that made my stomach drop. My front door was slightly open. Not wide open. Just a few inches. Enough to make me freeze in the driveway. I stood there for almost a full minute, staring at the door. I knew I had locked it before leaving. Slowly, I walked inside. "Hello?" I called. No answer. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I checked every room. The living room. The kitchen. The bathroom. The bedroom. Nothing looked stolen. Nothing looked touched. But something felt wrong. You know that feeling when someone has been in your space, even if you can't prove it? Yeah. That feeling. That night I barely slept. And the next day, I went straight to the store and bought a security camera system. Setting up the cameras, the system came with 4 cameras. I installed one above the front door, one in the backyard, one in the living room, and one facing the hallway near my bedroom. The cameras connected directly to an app on my phone. Simple. Or at least, that's what I thought. The first few nights were normal. The cameras recorded nothing but empty rooms and the occasional passing car outside. I almost started to feel silly. Maybe the open door really had been my mistake. Maybe the trash cans were just animals. But on the 4th night, everything changed. 2:13 a.m. my phone buzzed on the nightstand. At first I ignored it. Then it buzzed again. And again. Half asleep, I grabbed it and looked at the screen. Motion detected, living room camera. My heart skipped. I sat up in bed. Maybe it was a bug, or a shadow. Still, I opened the camera app. The screen showed the live feed from the living room. The room looked normal. The couch. The coffee table. The TV. Nothing moving. I sighed and was about to close the app when something caught my eye. The front door. It was slowly opening. Someone was inside. I stopped breathing. The door creaked open just a few inches. Then a little more. But the strange part was this. I couldn't see anyone. No hand. No person. The door simply opened, by itself. I told myself there had to be a logical explanation. Maybe the wind. But the door continued opening. Slowly. Until it was fully open. And then, something stepped inside. But it wasn't a person at first. I thought the camera had glitched. The shape on the screen didn't look right. It was tall. Too tall. Its body looked thin and stretched, almost like its limbs were longer than they should be. The figure moved strangely. Not like a normal person walking. More like, bending. Its head tilted at an unnatural angle. And the worst part? The camera struggled to focus on it. Almost like the thing wasn't fully there. I stared at my phone, frozen. My bedroom door was just 10 feet away from the hallway camera. If that thing walked down the hallway, it would be right outside my room. The living room camera cut out. The screen suddenly flickered. Then the feed froze. Then it went black. I stared at my phone in disbelief. No, 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 I whispered. I quickly switched to the hallway camera. The feed loaded. The hallway was empty. But then, something slowly appeared at the far end of the hall. The same tall shape. It moved toward my bedroom. Slowly. quietly. And then it stopped. Right outside my door. The knock, 3 slow knocks. Knock. 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 I nearly dropped my phone. My bedroom door hadn't moved. But I knew something was standing on the other side. Watching. Waiting. Then my phone buzzed again. Motion detected, bedroom camera. My blood ran cold. Because I didn't have a camera inside my bedroom. I sat frozen. On my bed, staring at my phone screen. Motion detected, bedroom camera. But that was impossible. I never installed a camera in my bedroom. My hand started shaking as I refreshed the camera app again. The hallway camera still showed the same thing. The tall figure standing right outside my door. Completely still. Not moving. Not knocking again. Just standing there. Waiting. The silence outside my door. I held my breath and listened. The house was silent. Too silent. Normally at night you hear small things, the refrigerator humming, the house settling, wind outside. But now? Nothing. It felt like the entire house was holding its breath with me. I slowly looked toward my bedroom door. The handle wasn't moving. No shadows under the door. No sound of footsteps. But my phone still showed the motion alert. I opened the notifications tab. There were 6 new alerts from the same camera. The one that didn't exist. My stomach twisted. There was only one explanation. Somehow, another camera had been connected to my system. The unknown camera. My finger hovered over the notification. For a moment, I almost didn't open it. Something deep inside me told me not to. But curiosity won. I tapped the alert. The screen loaded. And what I saw made my entire body go cold. The camera angle was pointed directly at my bed. My bed. My room. The camera was inside my bedroom. Mounted high in the corner near the ceiling. Watching me. I was being watched. The video was recorded just seconds earlier. In the footage, I could see myself sitting on the bed, holding my phone. Exactly as I was in that moment. Which meant the camera was recording live. I quickly looked around the room. The corners. The ceiling. The smoke detector. But I saw nothing. No camera. No blinking light. Nothing. My heart started pounding harder. Someone had placed a camera inside my bedroom. And I had never noticed it. The thing entered my room suddenly. The video feed moved. The bedroom door slowly creaked open. I felt my stomach drop. Because my real bedroom door hadn't moved. But on the video, it was opening. Slowly. Quietly. And something stepped into the room. The same tall figure from the hallway camera. But now I could see it more clearly. And I wish I couldn't. It wasn't human. Its arms were too long. They nearly reached the floor. Its skin looked pale and stretched tightly across its body. Its fingers were thin, and far too long. But the worst part was its face. Or what should have been a face. The camera struggled to focus on it, like the image was glitching. The head twitched slightly from side to side. Like it was studying me. Watching. Learning. And then it did something that made my blood freeze. It leaned closer to the bed. Closer to me. Until its distorted face filled the camera. And then the screen went black. The power went out at the exact same moment. My entire house went dark. The lights shut off. The hallway camera feed disappeared. My phone lost connection to the camera system. And I was left sitting in complete darkness. With something inside my room. The breathing, I could hear it. Slow breathing. Right behind me. Not loud. But close enough that I could feel the air move. My entire body locked in place. Every instinct told me not to turn around. But another part of me needed to know. Slowly. Very slowly. I turned my head. The room was pitch black. But I could see something darker than the darkness standing in the corner. Tall. Unnaturally tall. Its head tilted slightly. Watching me. Then it whispered something. A sound so quiet I almost didn't hear it. But the words were clear. You weren't supposed to see me. The lights came back suddenly. The power returned. The lights flickered on. I spun around. The corner was empty. Nothing there. No figure. No shadow. Nothing. My chest was rising and falling rapidly as I looked around the room. The door was closed. The windows were locked. And there was no camera in the corner. But my phone buzzed again. Another notification. Motion detected, living room camera. I opened the feed with shaking hands. The living room door was open again. And the tall figure was walking out of my house. But just before it disappeared into the darkness, it stopped. Turned slowly toward the camera. And smiled that I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I sat on my bed with the lights on, staring at my bedroom door. Every small sound made my heart jump. The clock slowly ticked toward morning, and the moment the sun finally started rising through the window, I grabbed my phone and keys. I knew exactly where I needed to go. The police station. Showing the police the footage about 30 minutes later, I was sitting across from a tired-looking officer behind a desk. His name tag read Officer Daniels. He listened quietly as I explained everything. The open door. The security cameras. The figure that walked into my house. At first, he looked skeptical. Honestly, I couldn't blame him. If someone told me the same story, I probably wouldn't believe it either. Finally, he sighed and said, "All right, show me the footage." My hands were still shaking as I opened the camera app. I played the recording from the living room camera. The video started normally. My empty living room. The quiet house. Then the front door slowly opened. Officer Daniels leaned forward. "Did someone break in?" he asked. "Just keep watching," I said quietly. The moment it appeared, the door opened completely. And then the tall shape stepped inside. The officer's expression changed instantly. He leaned closer to the screen. "What the hell?" he muttered. The distorted figure moved across the living room exactly like it had the night before. Its limbs bending strangely.